Hi guys, so Jennifer asked me to create a video on how I kind of connect with some people. Um, this month so far I have 11 Success Club points, which is pretty good for me considering this is my first full month like doing this full time. Um, I don't have anything like too crazy like secret wise, honestly. So when she asked me, I was kind of like, well, I'm not doing anything too spectacular. However, I will say that I am practicing the 3 vital behaviors every single day. I whip out, like I'll kind of go through a little bit of my day because that's kind of like how I connect with people. So I'll do my personal development, I pull out my book, and I immediately after that get out my planner. I work from my planner because if I don't, I feel lost and I end up going through the motions of scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through Instagram, doing all these things that are sucking up my time. So with being home full time and having my soon-to-be 4-year-old home with me every single day, I really had to buckle down and get some structure. So I knew that my planner was the way to go. I had to do my planner. Like that was just a no ifs, ands, or buts. So when I have my planner out and I will schedule everything for my month, I'll pencil things in and then it goes to the weekly views. So like literally I have like all this stuff that I do daily checklist wise. And my non-negotiables are my personal development, adding a minimum of 3 people to Facebook, adding a minimum of 5 people that I reach out to on Instagram, and I'm constantly following up with those people. So what do I mean when I'm adding people to Facebook? When I'm adding people to Facebook, I genuinely am just adding them. That could be from somebody liking my fitness page. I'll go and I'll request them as a friend. And then that way I can reach out to them. Or what I've been doing, and Jennifer kind of mentioned that she does this, is going through mutual friends or like common friends that I have already that I'm familiar with, that I have some background with or history with or that I can speak about, and I go through their friends. So their friends, I'm then creating mutual contacts. So when I add them as a friend, if they accept, I immediately send them a message. I'll send them a message like that day or the next day, depending on the time of day that they are that they're responding to my friend request. And literally my messages aren't long, they're not weird, they are really simple, but it's like I'm talking to a friend. So if you were to accept my friend request, you would get a message from me. Hey girl, thank you so much for adding me. And if it's a mom, I'll say, I'm always looking to add fellow mamas to my circle. How's it going? Or if they're not related to like I don't know if they're a mom. Hey girl, how's it going? Thank you so much for the ad and the support on my page. What have you been up to? Like I leave it up to them to respond back. But I also am not like pushing. I'm not real formal about it because to me, I'm not a formal person. I'm very easygoing, and that's how I like to carry my conversations because I like to feel like I'm sitting across from a friend at a coffee shop, just literally having a conversation with them. So that's how I lead my conversations. And then I see where it goes. I see, I'm always thinking forming. We talk about form, so I'll talk about their family, their occupation, what they do for fun, all of that type of stuff. I like to cover all those bases because when you're just asking yes or no questions, it really won't go anywhere. So you really have to kind of think outside the box and kind of almost, you have to pull teeth to have the conversation, it's probably not going to go anywhere. But most of the time it does. And usually the occupation thing is where I get to kind of pitch what I do. So they'll, reply back, oh, I'm a nurse, I'm an assistant, blah, 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 whatever. That's when I can, put my thing in there. And they'll usually ask me, oh, what do you do? And then it's when I kind of bring up what I do. I don't push any further. I don't invite them to a challenge group at that point if the conversation's not going there, which 9 times out of 10, it doesn't on the first conversation. But the thing is, and here's the key, even though you feel like you didn't really get anywhere with anybody, you did because you made a friendship and they are now friends with you and they are seeing your stuff in your feed. And that's where it comes into play with being consistent in your posting. And your posting doesn't need to just be posting. It has to be consistent in showing what you're doing with your health and fitness journey, that you're eating healthy and that you're exercising and that you're constantly inviting people into this circle that you have. So even though you're posting a workout selfie, you have to throw in there sometimes, I put my progress pic today. I put it on my personal page, but I gave a little blurb about how I felt about my body. And then at the end, I just said, hey, my February, groups are starting up. Will you join me? Like, it wasn't a cookie cutter post of 21 Day Fix or anything. It was genuinely a picture that I was sharing on my progress. But in the end, I shared where I was, how I'm doing now, and I'm asking them to join me on this journey. So it wasn't salesy at all. I threw out no prices. I threw out no programs. I threw out nothing. None of that. No links, nothing. And I've already gotten probably 4 conversations going just about that one post. So it's constantly being consistent and thinking outside the box of ways of inviting, because every post that you have, you're inviting. You have to be thinking, I'm inviting to something. I'm inviting them to join me on a health and fitness journey, period. I'm inviting them to join me on this challenge group. I'm inviting them to join into this business opportunity. So you're always going to showcase a way to invite. So that's kind of how I've been doing it on Facebook. I've been just going after people and I write their names down. All my contacts, I write my names down. And I'll follow up with them the next day. If that conversation was going somewhere, I'll follow up with them in a couple of days. But I'll go through my Facebook messages and I'll say, you know what, I haven't heard from Susie in a while. I'm going to check in and see how Susie is, because a lot of the time people take for granted that somebody's checking in on them. And when they see that, they think, oh, this girl really does care, because I still haven't led into, hey, would you want to join my challenge group? Now, sometimes if we're just having a really good conversation, I've talked to them for a week or so pretty regularly, or I've commented on their photos and things like that. Like I totally still stay involved in and interested in them on their pages. I'll comment on their kids' photos and things like that, so that when I do check in with them again, that seed's already planted for them that I do care. I do have health and fitness things if they're interested. So I always take these no's as not right nows, because a lot of the time when I do invite people, I'll say, hey, you know what, this is kind of out there. This is the way I phrase it, literally. Hey, this is kind of out there, but I have this, health and support accountability group is kind of how I phrase it. Take the challenge group out and things like that. So a health and accountability support group going on next month, and you always compliment them. I love your positive attitude. Your energy is amazing. I think you would be a wonderful addition to my group. Would you be interested in learning more about it? Like, I always compliment them, because it always feels good when you hear somebody else complimenting something on you. That's a really good thing to hear. So always try to do that, and just always leave it up to them. Interested is a good word. Joining is a good word. Just don't sound salesy. Don't put anything out there that's icky and salesy. So on Facebook, that's kind of how I do it. I just dig in and I just go in thinking that I'm making friends, and my posts are really lax. There's not a whole lot of formality to them, and that's just kind of how I do it. Now, Instagram is a little different, but the same sort of things apply. I mean, I go in, and if I see a lot of people, the same people liking my stuff, I go in and I'm interested in them. They've already been interested in me. So I'll go and I'll browse their page if it's public. And then I just try to interact the most I can with the people on my pages. So regardless if they are a coach or not, dang near, I will respond back to almost every single comment if I see it come through, because I want people to know that I care, and I want people to know that their comment matters, because maybe this is a coach that isn't getting support from her upline, and she really does admire you, because you know what? If she sees that you're a kind person, that you're taking the time to comment on her one little thing of, hey, you look great. I reached out and said, oh my gosh, you're such a sweetheart. Thank you so much. That could have just made her day, and that could have her either down the road quitting and then being like, I'm signing up with her whenever I'm ready to do this again, or recommending people to you. always just have a kind heart. I never think of somebody in a negative way, even if there's like those weird rap people. If they left a genuine comment, you know what? I'm not above it. Thank you so much for complimenting me. Now, if they approach me, because it happens all the time, I get direct messages about things, I simply say, you know what? I respect your hustle. Like, that's great, but it's not for me. Thank you for asking. I just I can't stand when people get nasty and rude about things, and you got to respect everybody's hustle. It's their grind, and just let them do it. You just sit back and you just stay humble and appreciative for this opportunity that you have. And you know what? Maybe they're just all gung-ho about the opportunity they have. What you have might not be right for them, and vice versa, and that's okay. And that's something that you really have to be okay with. You have to be confident in what you have to offer people. I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here, but that's kind of how I deal with things on Instagram. And like when people are contacting me, I do go out and I connect with people. I'm always searching hashtags and trying to find new hashtags to use. I've even been going and using like Weight Watchers, BBG. I don't even know what that is, but it's apparently a really popular hashtag. Tone it up. So like TIU girls on my things, or going and searching those, because guess what? They're into health and fitness, but maybe, just maybe, this thing isn't for them. Like the tone it up thing isn't for them. And maybe they're ready to give something a new try, or they need something with more structure and stability, or they crave like the accountability and support that you could have. I never discount anybody. Never. I like never discount anybody. I mean, clearly if somebody is all gung-ho about Avocare and things like that, I don't want to like slam different companies. I mean, that's for them. But then I won't really pursue them. But if somebody genuinely has a dang good transformation, props to them. I'll comment, because I just genuinely want to be known as a good person, that my heart's not with Beachbody necessarily. Oh, I love the programs. I love Shakeology, and I will blast your ear off about it. But I'm on this journey. I've seen the dark sides. I've seen the lows, and I know what it feels good to feel high. So I'm not above it. I will congratulate somebody on a weight loss journey, even if they have no interest in me at all. But I just really want to keep my name good, and I really want to keep good standing with people out there. So hashtag searching is always key, people. If you're not utilizing like 30 hashtags on your comments, you're really missing out. And try to switch it up. I mean, I'll put stuff on there like Thirsty Thursday for my Shakeology, or TGIF for Flex Friday pick, just thinking outside the box. I've been even doing like Star Wars nerd, because I don't know, maybe there's a girl out there that loves Star Wars and she just isn't getting her thing in at the gym, and she really needs an at-home program. You just never know. Like, always think about what your interests are. I always say focus on 3, but honestly, I could have like 6 that I can float between. And I think that's good. I treat my Instagram anymore essentially like a blog. I've tried the formal things, and it's just not me. Honestly, it's just not me. I know some people are more structured with, they have these days that they post this, that they post that. I mean, I'll do the Motivation Monday posts. I'll do the Transformation Tuesdays, Throwback Thursdays, Flex Fridays. But other than that, like, there's not set days that I have, because for the most part, I just do what feels right to me at that time. So you'll get a big gist of my life on my Instagram page and stuff, and my pages, because that is my life. Like, I have children. I'm married. I was a teen mom. I have 2 fat, smelly bulldogs. Like, you're going to see those on my pages, because that's the life I live. I don't really want this fabricated image of me out there on the internet, because I want people to be able to recognize me in public and know that this is the lifestyle I live. I don't pretend like I have something that I don't, and I don't pretend like I'm something that I'm not. So I kind of treat it just as a blog. Like, you'll see me post funny things. You'll see me post really deep things about myself and the way I feel, but I put it all out there. I just put it all out there. I had to really get past this barrier of this stigma of what people are going to think of me. And that's where personal development comes in, people. Like, seriously, since reading personal development, I cannot tell you enough. how it's boosted my confidence and how it's just opened me up and has given me just so much more clarity and this idea of, I don't care what people think of me, because you know what? I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm not, and I'm okay with that. But there's going to be these people that totally click with me. And that's when I've been really finding some lifers and some people that I'm like, dude, you're like my BFF. Like, seriously, there's these people that I've been connecting with this week. This is one in particular. And I'm going off a tangent again. But if I'm connecting with somebody, another thing, if I'm connecting with somebody, if I'm vibing, if they keep coming back to my page and I kind of dabble in theirs, like if we're vibing, I'm direct messaging you and I'm giving you props where it's due. And I literally will just say, hey, you know what? Thank you so much for following and supporting my journey. You always give thanks. And then I say, let me know your story. Like, I want to know about you. Like, tell me who you are. Like, that's the things that I say to these people. I don't immediately dive in and say, do you have a coach? Do you do this? Are you signed up with this? Have you tried Advocate? Have you blah, 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 blah. That freaks people out. Oh my God. Like, no, you don't want to play 20 questions that way, because that will take somebody from that's interested in you and go, whoop, nope, don't want that side of crazy. Don't want that. So I literally just breathe and just say, I'm making a friend. I just want to talk to him. I literally want to get to know him. Like, I want to know about you and your husband or your dogs or your, you know, where are you from? Are you a Pittsburgh Steelers fan? I've asked somebody that today, actually. So it's like those little things that will make people connect with you. And that I generally just connect with the way I feel about people. Like, I don't force it. I generally reach out and I will help people. I don't, even if they're coaches, like today it happened. Some coach asked me what apps I was using on my page or my picture or my video or whatever. I told her, it's not a secret what I'm doing. I'm not here to one up somebody necessarily. I'm here because I love being here. I love what I do and I love helping people. She's a coach. That's great. Her content's not my content. Just because she commented on my photo and asked for she's my friend. You know what? That's cool. Like, here, I'll help you. I'll scratch your back. You scratch mine one time. That's fine. That's the way I want to see it. Like, I want to feel comfortable enough to where if somebody asks me for help, if I see something that they did that was really cool, I want to feel comfortable enough going to them and saying, hey, you know, like, I saw that post. Like, how'd you do that? Or how'd you do that Facebook cover photo? Or who did you go through for your, you know, t-shirts or something like that? Like, I just want to feel comfortable all the time going to people. So it just goes back to being who you truly are as a person and letting that show on social media. I think that's like what I've learned through all this. Don't pretend like you're something you're not. I just believe that so wholeheartedly. And I just want to give you guys an example of like my posts that I've shared about my bikini. This was not a post that I would have posted, like, at all. Like, it was outside of my comfort zone, like, times a million. I can't tell you enough how freaking nervous I was to post that. But the outcome that I had from that post was amazing. And I'm trying to find it for you so I can tell you some little stats. Like, I'm going to tell you that when you're so scared to post something and you get like this pit in your stomach of what the crap am I doing? Why am I posting this? This is going to be so stupid. Nobody's going to want to see that. I feel like I'm going to vomit. Like, those are the posts that you need to post, because those are the posts that are going to get the most interaction. Hang on, I'm almost there. Okay. So when something clicks with your viewers, you know it. When something just resonates with people, you know it. Because just from this picture of me and my cellulite legs and being all open and honest, I had a reach of 12,982 people on Facebook, which is like the biggest reach I've ever had with any of my personal content. The fact that I had somebody share it and I had like 56 something messages or something, I don't know, like that I had to respond to. Guys, that was mind blowing, because oh, that's something like I totally didn't even want to do. Like that's like a blah. It's like a picture I didn't even want to post. But that was like the last thing that I needed to do for myself, was to put myself out there and cut that last string. Cut that last string and that last thread of like fear. I know putting yourself out there and being uncomfortable, it's nauseating. God, it's nauseating. But the response that you get is like amazing. So my biggest tip to you is be open. If you can't be open with yourself and honest with yourself, just like Amy Silverman did, you can't be a leader, and you can't truly be who you could be in this business or in your health and fitness journey. You have to be open and honest with yourself. Be real. Like, be real. Because you know how I know I'm doing stuff right? Because I get people that come to me all the time now that are just messaging me out of the blue. And that's how I know that I'm doing something right. When they're coming to me saying, you look incredible. This is the key word. I love how real you are. I love how open you are and candid you are with your life. The fact that I'm getting those responses knows that I know that I'm doing something right. So be so real and so open, so honest. Be vulnerable. Be humble. And just be kind. Like, those are like the things that I think you need to have attributes in, like your life, and they need to resonate into your coaching business. So I'm not perfect. My pages might be a hot mess, but I do try to make them pretty, like with some photos and stuff. But those are kind of like some tips of how I work my business and how I connect with people. I genuinely just think from the bottom of my heart that this person's my friend. I want to make friends, and you know what? I want to help people along the way. So how would I make people want to like me? Like, that's it. Like, how I want people to like me. I want people to feel comfortable coming to me. So I'm just going to put it all out there, basically, is the way I look at it. I want people to know that perfection doesn't exist, and that it's okay to come from all aspects of life and still be able to accomplish your dreams and your goals, and that there's always going to be somebody there to help you. And I want to be that person for somebody. I want them to feel comfortable enough to come to me and cry to me and vent to me and come to me for help. So it's like 22 minutes. I hope that kind of helps you guys. Like, if you have any questions at all, just shoot me a message or whatever. We can chat. I'm home all day now, so that's a plus. Thanks for listening to me blab for like 22 minutes. All right, hope that helps.